Welcome back to Expediting Change. I appreciate you continuing to pull up. We in season 3. I feel the love. The love is absolute for real. But you can look, you can see I'm in my new high back chair that the team picked out. No, I picked it out. I got my interior decorating going on. But I am so proud that my team was able to put together a studio for us, by us, that we can do Expediting Change live for you. Won't have to wait on nobody else. So when we feel like it, we just walk up in the stew and get it in. But today I have a very special guest that I'm gonna chop it up with today. Can't wait to get into Expediting Change. What's good, my brother?
What's happening?
How you?
Good, man.
Why don't you introduce yourself to the people?
Troy Wise, born and raised in Maryland, technology executive for a financial services firm, also an entrepreneur, business and consulting, automation, software development, and 2 kids, and that's it, man.
Man, that's it. I thought I wear a lot of hats, man. I don't know about that's it. That's a lot right there, man.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
I heard that. So how long? Okay, so you got corporate and then you got business. So you mentioned both. So how long in each?
Business started at a young age, 14 years old, man. I started just doing what I could around the neighborhood to make money. And, nothing like nothing similar stuff that anybody else would go through, man. Cutting grass, delivering papers. But then I turned it into a cleaning company.
Nice.
And that got me through college. And I had people at school working for me. And then when I realized that my clients that I was cleaning for needed software support,
No doubt.
and I was going to school for information management, I started to become their IT support person.
Fire.
So that was really the first LLC that I had
Nice.
around technology support in the end for small businesses.
Nice. And how old were you at that point?
I was 22 years old when I started that company.
That's fire. And you said, and notice, which is key, team, you said LLC. So you started your LLC, not just started the company, you made sure it was official with an LLC.
Made sure it was official with LLC, hired an accountant, a tax
Yeah.
professional,
Yeah,
hired an attorney,
for sure.
talked through all the options, corporation, S Corp, LLC, and decided LLC was the best thing for me.
Absolutely. So you did that while you were in school. You were also doing the your business and in school. How did you then segue to corporate?
So in school, right, I come from a humble beginning, so I always had to hustle, like I said.
No doubt.
So in school, it was about paying for college tuition, but also the people around me were struggling with money as well. So that's
Mm-hmm.
why I started the company.
Mm-hmm.
My homeboys, homegirls, making sure everybody had a means to some pocket change to get through the struggling life of a college student.
Mm-hmm.
But as I was growing the business, I wanted to develop more context in a corporate space. So small
Mm-hmm.
business contexts were good. I was making enough money, but as you know, as an entrepreneur, if you're not closing any deals, you're not eating.
For sure.
So I wanted to move into a space where I had larger contracts.
Yeah.
So I wanted to connect with some corporations. So I started working with different companies to get
Mm-hmm.
presence, and one of them was United Healthcare,
Mm-hmm.
Wells Fargo,
Mm-hmm.
and I said, "Hey, I want to understand how they do contracting,
For sure.
how they sub out." So that
Right.
was my intro into corporate America. So in doing that, when I would present my business, bring folks along from a contract perspective, they always wanted to throw me opportunities
Mm-hmm.
because we would kill it.
Mm-hmm.
And from a leadership perspective, I would kill it.
Mm-hmm.
From a relationship building standpoint, I would kill it.
Love it.
So they would say, "Hey, we don't want you just to contract. We want you here. We want your
Mhm.
institutional knowledge. We want your
Mm.
leadership to be sustainable as we
Mhm.
transform the organization in certain
Mhm.
ways." So that presented corporate opportunities for me.
Mhm.
So I went back and forth depending on the need. If proposals were low and I needed to eat,
Yeah.
I took a role in corporate.
Absolutely.
If things were happening in the business, but I always had the business happening. There was
For sure.
always people making sure it was being run, and I had
Absolutely.
clients. But if the business was good, then I'd step out for a while, do that for a while. If I need to go back in corporate, I go back in corporate.
Having options, having choices. So the the corporate that you were working for, they knew that you had the business, quote unquote, what we would call on the
Most
side.
of them.
Okay, yeah. No doubt. You gotta do what you gotta
Most
do,
of them,
man.
man.
When you eat what you kill and you kill what you eat, it depends on how they feel about it.
Put it this way, I understood, disclosure of activities that make conflict with an organization, and where it made sense to expose it and share it because there might be a perceived conflict, I shared it. Where there was not a conflict, I did what I needed to do.
Absolutely. So listen to that. Did y'all hear what he just said, man? He made sure that he knew the ins and out of the contracts, his business, and the organization that he was working for to disclose what he needed to disclose when he needed to disclose it. And that is what transparency is called. So when you said you stepped in and stepped out, You were eating what you kill and killing what you eat. But where did you find the most joy, like the passion? Like where were you the most excited?
I'm gonna tell you the truth, man. Luckily, I've been blessed in my career journey. The type of work that I was doing with my business, I enjoyed it. But the chasing the proposals really wasn't. It was like after a while, starting a family, father of two, was really not my thing. I needed sustainability for my kids, but because I was doing the type of work that I was doing, which was technology related, solving big problems for small businesses, I enjoyed that work. But then when I was solving big problems for big organizations, it was a rush. It was a rush. It's like I became an adrenaline junkie coming into whatever complex challenge that may have happened in that or the organization needed me to solve. They may have hired with other leaders, different consulting firms, or whoever, and they couldn't solve it. And I just loved diving into those situations.
For sure.
2 or 3 times they made attempts, wasn't solved. I step in, solve it, and it just gave me that rush.
Absolutely.
So that's the type of thing that I was drawn to, and it was in big corporations. And so at a point in time, I slowly made the shift to focus on
For
corporations.
sure.
I struggled with it. I mean, I literally struggled with it because I wanted to be in a position to provide opportunities for folks that look like me. And
Absolutely.
there's no
Love
better
that.
way to do that by owning your own business.
That's right.
But then I learned in corporate, the more you develop your brand,
Yeah.
the more you develop a recognition of delivering and strong
Mhm.
execution, delivering on business outcomes, you develop
That's right.
that equity to command investment,
Absolutely.
to command the size of a team, and
Absolutely.
then go recruit whoever you need to recruit because
Absolutely.
the trust is there that you're going to deliver.
Absolutely.
And because have that history of delivery, you're going to pick the right talent
Absolutely.
to continue that tradition of excellence.
Absolutely. We're gonna pull on that thread because I absolutely love that. Because what you're saying is, I came in here strong. I knew my job, did my job, did it well, which gave me equity in the business from the perspective of my institutional knowledge that I brought to the business. And now in exchange, now I get to hire who I want. But the question is, how did you build that though? How did you get that in the corporate setting? Because sometimes that's hard.
It's all about understanding the challenge,
Mm-hmm.
right? Understanding the problem you're trying to solve
Mm-hmm.
and focusing on developing your relationships within the business. My core job is to deliver technology.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's all about how to enable or solve a business problem.
For sure.
So, how can I use technology to create more revenue?
For sure.
How can I use technology to reduce expenses?
No
How can
doubt.
I use technology to reduce risk
That's
exposure?
right.
With that mindset, I established connections with business leaders.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not a technologist, I'm a business person that knows technology.
Love it.
So that's the relationship building piece.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously connecting people on a more personal level, get into golf, get into, types of music, all that type of thing, so that you have a relationship outside of just delivering work. They
Mm-hmm.
connect with you on a personal level so
Mm-hmm.
that in the trenches,
Mm-hmm.
they feel some type of personal connection to you and they know that you got their back. And
Mm-hmm.
no matter what, you're going to make sure everything is cut, you
Mm-hmm.
covering their back and no matter what, they, c- they know they can trust that you'll get it done.
Absolutely.
Right.
Love that.
So if it's, issue with the production of the technology going down
Mm-hmm.
or the bad execution on a project, they know that you are committed to them because you
Mm-hmm.
develop that trust factor in a relationship. So you're going to step in, no matter where things are, what you're doing, you're going to step in and make sure whatever you're doing for them is right.
So
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 doing that over time, that's how
the
I
longevity of it. Got it. Yep.
built that brand. He's a strong executor. He will deliver what needs to be delivered. And then from that, it's a matter of how do you develop the influence. So there's things that you do as a worker to get things done. As a worker, you execute, you deliver on. But as a leader, you have to make a transition from a worker mindset. And you have to turn into an influencer, right? A somebody that can motivate teams of people to one single mission, to a singular or set of outcomes. And what got you to be a strong execution worker is not the same thing as to get you to a leader, right? So you gotta, at some point in your career, if you want to be in this type of space of leading people, doing big things in your organization, even as an entrepreneur, as a CEO of your own thing, you gotta make a shift in your mindset. And there's a book called "What Got You Here Won't Get You There," and it talks about making that leap into leadership, making that leap into having people not only trust you from a relationship standpoint, but having people trust you from a vision, culture, and supporting my lifestyle standpoint. And as I was making that transition, that then generated, Troy, we're just going to give you this bucket of money, these initiatives, these concepts, you deliver on them
Get
however
it
you need to
done.
deliver.
Get it done. I absolutely love that. Troy is spitting right now, man. Listen, y'all gonna have to rewind and catch everything he just said because we not going back. But I do want to tease out one point because you can see it in him as he's saying it. He found what he loved to do combined with a passion that could also earn money because we're not going to leave revenue, income, and get into the bag out of it. You got to make some bread. I recently had a young person ask me about that, like finding out that Venn diagram of what I love to do, that I have a passion for, of making money. So, either what would you tell your younger self, or what would you tell the younger folks? Like, how do you get to that point? What is that sweet spot of what I love to do? I also have a passion for it, and I can make money.
You know what? I probably mentor a couple hundred people, believe it or not, a year. I don't even know how I find the time to do it. And everyone asks that question. And when I say mentor, I mean folks that are junior high school, college, up to 55, 60 years old. And I myself, I'm mentored right throughout the year as well. So I'm never strong enough to think that I can't be a mentee for someone. The one thing I talk about in finding your passion is you got to think through yourself, like self awareness, right? You got to spend the time to really learn yourself, to understand what it is you like to do. What are the things that come natural to you? If you naturally are drawing to, sitting down and being within yourself and no distractions, and you can just spend hours in one space thinking through a concept, reading, doing math, doing whatever, then a computer based coding job might be for you. If you need to be out, and this you're talking about with your audiovisual guy, if you need to be out moving around, right? Maybe a relationship type role is for you, whether that's sales, whether that's production, producing shows, or whatever it might be, where you're in public. So whatever it is, right? You got to find those things that you're comfortable with, that things that bring you joy. For me, I always enjoyed building things. I started building um, stereo systems at a young age. I was like your man, I was tinkering with the electronics in the house. That turned into a concept around maybe I want to build computers. But then I'm like building computer, building computer. All right, I did that. That's not joy anymore. Then I'm like, I want to, I'm hearing about these problems around like, how do I make this go faster? How do I turn this document into an image? Or how do I turn these series of steps to create this document into a workflow? And that started drawing me into, I think I just like problem solving. And I like problem solving as it relates to doing things around a business. I like doing things where I'm showing how I can help somebody make money or save money. And that's what draw me to the domain of technology that I'm in, which is around software development. But I was only a coder for a couple years. So what I tell people is find your vision. I mean, find your passion. Then think through all the things you can do with that. And there's always a list and many options, any field in which you can do. In technology, you can do computer support, software development, infrastructure, network, cybersecurity, all that. I was
AI right now, we have
AI.
an AI.
I put that in the class of software development itself, but it is by itself. I was drawn to the software development side, but I thought through what are the options from a software development standpoint. I can be an engineer. I can be a project manager. I can be a scrum master. I can be a leader of engineers. I could be a Java engineer. I could be a database engineer. So I thought through all that and I looked at what are the options from a career perspective and income standpoint. And then I thought through the trajectory of it, like being an engineer, what does that mean for me? Being a leader of engineers, what does that do for me? Being a CIO, what does that do for me? And so I would put these targets out every so often, just trying to track my progress towards it. And that's what I tell the folks that I mentor. Your passion, understand the domain that you want to operate in, understand the type of roles that are available in that domain from a corporate perspective and from a starting your own business standpoint. And then think through how you advance along those career paths to really define your income targets. But also at the same time as defining your income targets, you got to think about your lifestyle and make sure your lifestyle that you want aligns to the income targets of the job that you have. Because a lot of people think about houses and cars without thinking about the income that they need to get those houses and cars. So the houses and cars they actually can get off their income It's not necessarily the housing cars that they wanted when they put their vision together. So you got to think through that. What is the lifestyle that I want? And what is the job, career path that I need to sustain that lifestyle that I want?
Fire, fire. I'm gonna go back to something you said because you said a lot of fire things. Um, Management is a science and leadership is an art. Is how I sum it up. And you were talking about similar to you cannot get to your most heightened self if you're always in survival mode. You can't be a leader if you're stuck in worker bee execution mode. So oftentimes that's difficult, right? Like that's a mean transition. So what's your advice for making that switch? Like, how do I get out of the mode of I'm task oriented? I know I need to get this done. Management is a science, but now I need to get to leadership, which is more of an art in leading people.
I'm be honest, management's not for everybody,
For
leadership's
sure.
not for
For
everybody,
sure.
right? And so unless you are humbled, built with empathy, have the ability to meet people where they are, to find out what motivates them. And I'm gonna pause there. I'm gonna stop right there. If you can't do those things, don't even think about leadership. Don't even think about leadership. You be a leadership of one, and you can't be a leader of many. And then thinking about like strategically, how do you have a strategic mindset? Can you take concepts and turn it into a vision, and then turn a road from that vision, have a roadmap? Can you convince people to buy into your vision? Can you constantly reinforce how the vision how the execution of the vision is critical? Can you reinforce the execution steps needed to meet that vision?
Hmm.
Can you reinforce the outcomes that the vision will provide? And if you can't do that from a communication standpoint,
Sure.
don't even think about
It's a
being a
wrap.
leader.
It's a wrap.
So there's a lot of innate things that I think great leaders have: discipline, empathy, focus, right? Then I also think great leaders have the ability to bring folks along, motivate, energize, and passion. And if you feel you have those things, they can always be cultivated through development programs, self-help books, and obviously experience. Every leader's not perfect out the gate. They go through a learn and experience exercise. But that's how I think you make that transition. One, being self-aware that you have the capabilities to step to that level. And if you don't, there's always great things that you can do. Like I said, you could be a leader of one, but not a leader of many. But those that can lead many can recognize that, be self-aware that they have that set of skill sets: passion, empathy, communication, focus, discipline, and they just cultivate it.
Absolutely. So this leader thing ain't easy.
Oh, it
This
ain't easy.
leader thing ain't
It ain't
easy.
easy.
And the
Again,
one,
there are
go
strong
ahead.
leaders where it comes a
Yeah,
little more
yeah.
natural than others, but it's worth it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the one thing I say within what you just said in the list that you rattled off is emotional regulation, right? Because you got to have the self confidence to be able to self regulate emotionally in order for you to have empathy. You know what I mean? And that empathy then comes into whomever it is in that team that you're leading, they can feel it, especially the culture. Like as you walk up a fraud with the culture, they going it's right out the gate. You're not a good leader. You phony as hell, and that is instantly going to kill you. So it not literally kill you. Expediting change. I'm talking about kill a career. All right, all right, all right. I hear my comments going crazy already. um, but which now in the position that you're in, what gives you the most passion? Because you talked about solving problems from the corporate perspective as the biggest rush for you. What about right now, present day?
Right now, present day, because I've done this for a while. I mean, the organization I'm with now, I've been there for it'll be 20 years in October, and
Wow.
I've solved some major problems. And right now, I have an operating budget of roughly $130 million,
Nice.
supporting businesses that make $4 to $6 million in profit, so
Nice.
$4 to $6 billion in profit quarterly.
Nice.
Team of almost 1,000 people globally. I'm good with all that,
Yeah,
right? That is what it is. I think for me now, it's what I have to do to pay it forward.
for
I'm
sure.
at a point in my career where I've done enough.
I love it.
I got the shine, right?
For
I've
sure.
seen it. I've done it.
Mm.
I've got the rewards from it. Now it's about propping up others that look like me, that have a passion for their career, and have the innate characteristics to be successful.
I love that.
So it's about building them up, giving them tools to be successful. And one thing I'm very proud of in the last, and when I hire people, I hire for the best
Okay.
person for the role.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a lens in which I want to have my talent pipeline.
Mm-hmm.
I want to have folks that look like me in that talent
Mm-hmm.
pipeline. I want to have women in that talent
Mm-hmm.
pipeline, right? And if I can get a woman or a man that looks like me
Mm-hmm.
in the roles that I have posted,
Mm-hmm.
great.
For
But if I
sure.
can't, I got to take the strongest candidate.
No
Right?
doubt.
That's just how business has. You want the best
Absolutely.
person. You can get the diverse candidates that you want. Great. If you can't, you got to move on. You got
Absolutely.
to roll the field. But I can say, for probably the second time in my career, I was able to hire some strong, killer technology talent. I mean, next level talent
Mm-hmm.
that looks like us
For sure.
for significant roles
For sure.
with great income and
Mm-hmm.
great span across the
Because
organization.
they do exist.
That's the stuff that makes me happy now.
Love that.
That's the stuff that gets me excited.
Paying it forward.
Paying it forward.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely love that. And we were having this conversation about DEI and the current administration and what happens being in a position where you create your own DEI.
Yeah.
Right. You are the one that's sitting at that table, the table that you built with your team and your budget,
Yep.
and hiring those not just to look like you, which you made clear, those who are qualified and look like me. And if they don't, then you missed the beat and
You got to hire what you
I
got
gotta
to.
hire next best man or woman up.
Got a story to tell you
Yeah,
real
yeah.
quick. I was in a development program, information technology senior management forum,
Mm-hmm.
focused on Black executives,
Mhm.
getting them to the C-suite. And they start with college age children and cultivate them all the way through.
Mhm.
And in this program, one of the professors said, I don't believe in DEI the way that it's represented now.
Mm.
Shook the room. What do
Mhm.
you mean you don't believe in that? This
Mhm.
is the way we get equity. He was like, that's not what DEI is.
Mm.
DEI is bringing diverse cultures and perspective to the table.
Mhm.
This should be innate in every leader. I
Absolutely.
don't need a separate program to make sure I do that. I need to be a great leader to make sure I have a diverse table around me. And if I'm doing that, I'm meeting all the DEI requirements I
For
need to
sure.
meet. But we've
Right out the
moved
gate.
into a space of representation.
Mm.
And when you move into a space of representation, it's going to piss a lot of people off.
Mhm.
This is what we have now.
No, that's a phenomenal story, and that's literally what is taking place right now.
Black man said this.
No, no doubt, no doubt. And
Yeah.
I think we have to pause for a moment on what is polarizing and coming out and match it up, juxtaposition it to the reality of it. Because when we were faced with Doge coming and having a conversation with us about DEI and what's on our website, our first reaction from an emotional perspective was, I'm not changing nothing on
Right.
my website.
Right.
However, it was like, hold up. I don't necessarily care what that website say.
Right.
I'm the one sitting at the table making
Right.
the decision, and I'm consciously competent
Right.
about who I'm going to hire.
Right.
So I think when we have that DI conversation and almost anything from a political perspective, emotional regulation, back to the
Emotional
emotional
regulation.
regulation, just pause for a second.
Yeah.
Just slow down for a second. Everybody's not out here to cause harm. A lot of people absolutely are, but we got to hear it from a lens that is clear and we are not upset and going crazy before we respond
Right.
to it.
Right.
So I absolutely
And I don't
love
want folks sitting around the table thinking I'm some sellout because I'm talking about, representation and all that. I'm the most radical cat you can ever come across.
Listen, they gonna think what they gonna think regardless. And they should know if you're sitting next to me in Expediting Change, because I walk liberation. But in walking liberation, we gotta keep it a buck.
We got to keep it a buck.
We gotta always keep it real, man. Plus, everybody that look like us or not is not even qualified if we keeping it a buck.
That's true.
You know what I mean? We on Expediting Change is not worried about thinking we frauds. Not at all.
Yeah, you got to be selective with your equities, right? You
Absolutely.
got to be selective with your. Everybody don't get a chance.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You gotta bring the skills to the table. So you said 20 years. That's a long time. So super quick story. I worked for UPS for 10 years and it was a beast. Like it was, and I said, I'm never ever again gonna give an organization this much time of my life. I'm gonna dedicate it to my business. Then I got to another corporate job and been there 12 years. So I had to shift that position. So talk to me about your thoughts on that 20 years, knowing based off what you just said, you can walk away at any time. I'm not counting your pockets, but expediting change not counting your pockets, but you got business, you're at the place in your life where you're giving back. You can walk when you're ready. So that 20 years, like, what does that mean for you? How do you get to that determining point that you're at the 20 and you still giving them your time? Like talk to me about that.
I'm still going through it, right?
No
In
doubt.
October, I just sent a note to a sponsor of mine that, hey, October will be 20 years. I think I'm gonna do some reflection, like
Mhm.
what I've accomplished and where I want to go next, like what I
Yeah.
would really want to do. I'm like, I'm at a point where 20 years, like, "Yeah, this dude got to be close to retirement." Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking about retirement. But
Sure.
what does retirement look like?
Sure.
But the thing that keeps me um, thinking about another year at the same corporation or the same role at a different corporation
Yeah.
is that I enjoy what I do, like I said.
No.
Like I tell the folks that I talk to, I don't have a Monday morning.
Mhm.
I hear a lot of people talk about, "Oh, man, I gotta get up tomorrow and go to work after these short 2 days." I don't have that feeling on
No
Mondays.
doubt.
Half the time I'm working on Saturday, Sunday
For
anyway
sure.
because I'm making sure my lifestyle and my career
Yeah.
are intertwined,
Sure.
and I'm happy about it.
Love that.
Quality of work-life balance is at the priority for me. It's the
Mhm.
top tier thing.
Mhm.
But what happens is I might on a Thursday come sit down and do a podcast in the middle of the day,
Sure. For sure.
right? And
For
it's no
sure.
problem.
For
And I might
sure.
spend some time on Saturday to catch up on a few emails I might
Absolutely.
have missed, right? And that's
Absolutely.
balance for me,
I love that.
right? I'm not dedicated and locked into a 9 to 5, Monday through Friday.
Absolutely.
I'm flexible in my personal life when I need to be Monday through Friday, and I'm
Yeah.
flexible on the weekend for my
Yep.
work life when I need to be.
Yep.
So that in itself just made 20 years go by like it was nothing
No doubt.
and tied with the passion that I have. So what I see is there another level within the corporate space that I want to get? I never aspired to this level. I was told by many people that I could do it. At this point in time, and I'm going to drop be vulnerable here for a minute. The first 15 years of my career, and at this pace, first 15 years of the space, I went through a little bit of imposter syndrome here and
Okay.
there, right?
Okay.
It's people Harvard educated, Yale educated. I'm just a dude, went to University of Baltimore for my graduate degree,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
How am I going to compete with these Ivy League institution cats?
Mhm. Mhm.
But then I realized, like, nobody can process information the way that I can. People struggle to get to the conclusions that I can on
Mhm.
what the outcome is that we need to try to achieve as quickly as I do. And then I realized nobody outworked me because I
Yeah.
had this hustler mindset from day one.
No doubt.
And because of that, I don't care where you're from now. In the
Mhm.
last 5, 6 years, my swagger has been off the
I
chart.
heard
There
that.
ain't no
That's
stopping
what
it.
I'm talking
And I
about.
made sure in my early career I had to dress the part. I had to play the role. Code switching and all that stuff was happening. Now, no, I am who I am.
Absolutely.
I am a t-shirt wearing,
Love it.
Jordan Air Force Air Max 1 version retro shoe kicking it
Love it.
motherfucker. I don't give a
That's what I'm
shit
talking about.
because I know what the fuck I'm doing. You
Absolutely.
understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I love
And
it.
everybody
That
knows
clip
this.
gonna go. That clip. We running that clip back, boy.
Everybody knows this. And I had a white man who gave me 2 promotions. The one before this, he said, "Look, I'm promoting you to a whole nother level. I need your swagger to shine now. I see it, you see it, everybody else needs to see it." And in this book, we got it sitting here.
Yes, sir.
I tell a story of when I was early in my career. This is when I was going back and forth between corporate and my own business.
Mhm.
I had a project, and it was a good amount of money. I had to spend like 700,000, 800,000 to buy some equipment.
Mhm.
And it's my technology space, so I'm going with this older white Jewish guy to this conference to look at
Mhm.
the equipment. And all I see is people a little bit. I was young, so I see
Mhm.
people a little bit older than me, but I don't see many people that look like me.
Mhm.
I got insecure, and I said to him, I'm like, man, there's some players in here, man. I'm
Mhm.
feeling a little inadequate, man.
Mhm.
Like I
Mhm.
can't keep up with these dudes. He leaned over to me and he said, "You are the most important person
Mhm.
in this room.
Mm.
Nobody's more important than you. And I
Nice.
need you to say that everywhere you go,
I love
every
it.
day for the rest of your life." And that
Absolutely.
stuck with me.
Mhm.
Sticks with me today. I was talking to a young lady the other day. She was working on a big project. And she said, "I feel like I can't get this done. I feel like I'm incompetent. I feel like I'm
Mm.
struggling." I'm like, you are the domain expert in this space.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody knows what you know.
For sure.
You are the most
Okay.
important person in this room.
Paying it
I
forward.
need you to understand this.
For sure.
And it changed her whole perspective
For
that,
sure.
she went forward, killed it, and everything's going well for her. But, you know, words of affirmation are
Yeah.
critical.
Yep.
And I try to reinforce that when I'm mentoring folks, young age, you know, mid-career, just continuing to make sure that they know they are seen, they are
Yep.
heard, they're competent, and they have something to bring to the table.
Love it. I absolutely love it. We're gonna segue into the book. I'm gonna hold it up so y'all can see the book. And then we're gonna make sure Troy sign the all the NDAs, and we can put out all the info because we running that clip for the Invest Fest. We popping that off. When I say I absolutely love that, bro. I mean, I got goosebumps when you
I
said,
can't, man.
bro.
I
I got
drop bombs every
I
so
got
often. So I
goosebumps, bro.
apologize for anybody.
No, you on expediting change, man. You on expediting change, and
Can't
to
help
to
myself
to to
sometimes.
wreak the confidence and to teach individuals it is okay, black man, black woman, for you to be confident about yourself, and that does not mean that you arrogant. It's not. No, humility and being humble, we understand in certain spaces, but I have to make sure that I have that self-love and that self-confidence. So I love that clip. I mean, I love that comment, and we running that clip,
Feel
baby.
good saying it, Russ. Feel good saying
But
it.
let's talk about the book, man. Let's prop up your book, man. Talk to me.
So this book was a part of the development program I was telling you about,
Mhm,
Information Technology Senior Manager Forum. It's 26 black executives
mhm,
came together and just talk about our journey, where we need to be from a um, um, uh, persona,
mhm,
behavior profile to get to the C-suite.
mhm,
And it was really therapy for all of us
mhm,
because we all faced microaggression,
mhm,
racism, discrimination in some form at some point.
mhm.
But what we came together and what we achieved was getting comfortable with this, what we're doing right now,
For sure.
telling our story.
For sure.
And as you know, my story goes way deeper than what we're talking about.
Mhm, mhm.
And in that program, I got comfortable with telling that story,
No
the
doubt.
dark side of my
No
story,
doubt.
right? And being able to turn that into interesting things about me
For
to
sure.
connect with people in all walks of life.
Mhm,
That program is what that's all about.
mhm,
Taking folks that have achieved a certain level of degree, I mean, of status in their career,
mhm.
and then helping them to do, like I said, make that next step.
For sure.
Because what got us there won't get us to the next level.
That's right.
And so we had to talk about, you know, things in our lives that kind of ascended us to the next level or
Mhm,
were reflection points, but also at the same time give good information, drop jewels to folks that are reading it
mhm,
about how to manage tough situations, how to
mhm.
focus on your career, how to build a brand. And that's what the book is about.
For sure.
So we're all telling stories, it's a collective of essays from the 26 of us on ways that we can help others come along in their career.
Love that. Now, it came by way of the program that you were in. Do you feel that you have an itch to write another book?
Oh yeah, there's part two's coming out. So from this, because the story is so compelling, it's short stories, but it's so compelling, everyone has asked for my full story. So I'm currently working on that now, and hopefully in the next 6 months, I have it published, my full story, the ins and outs, the
Love it.
street hustler to the corporate
I
hustler,
love it.
type story.
People need to hear it, bro.
Yeah.
People need to hear it. I love it. Okay, so listen, I need 3 pieces of advice that you would give to your younger self.
So my younger self, know that you are enough.
Mm,
Know that you are capable. Know that you are worthy. So have that self-confidence
mm,
out the gate. Have that self-confidence out the gate. I don't care what you came from, you know there's something in you that is your superpower.
love it.
Lean into that and let that build your confidence. That's the first piece.
Absolutely.
Second piece, find your passion,
Mm,
whatever that is. If you want to be a janitor, custodian, be the best custodian you want to be. The income will flow
absolutely.
because your passion will turn into creating opportunities for yourself because the type of work that you're doing, people will see it as good work. They want to throw more work at you. You got to bring more people along. Next thing you know, you got a multi-million-dollar custodial service. They
Absolutely.
offer your passion. So
Mm,
whatever you choose, whatever your talent is, whatever you feel great about doing, whatever you can do, and it seems like time is stood still and you could do it for days. That's your passion.
Love it.
Lean into that.
Love it.
Lastly, um, as you grow and go throughout life, you got to have that empathy. You got to think about others. You got to care for others. So no matter where you are, be kind, be considerate, and pay it forward.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Now, you done said a lot of dope things, but I can't let you off the hot seat
Sure, sure.
for the expediting change question. So, what are you doing right now to expedite change for the positive progression of the culture?
For me, it's all about giving back. So I'm all focused on philanthropic opportunities for myself. So I'm at a point where I can give, at a level that's impactful.
Mhm.
So to expedite change, I'm investing in organizations and entities that focus on scholarships and education for minorities, Black and Brown folks, as a priority. I'm focused on opportunities around entities that are around developing and coaching people around technology skill sets.
Mhm.
And obviously that's how we got connected,
Mhm.
focused on institutions that are committed to financial education
Love it.
of minorities.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm doing to expedite change.
Love
So influencing missions and programs through financial contributions to try to expedite the education, development, impact to our community as much as possible.
Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. You heard from Troy. He gave you three dope tips, and then he let you know what he was doing to expedite change. Troy, I appreciate it, man. This was absolute
Went
love.
way too fast, bro.
You murder it always do.
Way
And I
too
think we were
fast.
40 minutes too. And listen, it go ba 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 ba.
Yeah.
Killed it, bro. You
Appreciate it,
absolutely
man. Appreciate
killed it. What I'm gonna say to close us out, man. Listen, after hearing everything that Troy said, he said so many good things. But what resonates with me, I already said what gave me goosebumps, but I'll start with from the hustle, being a hustler and having a hustle mentality took him very, very, very far. So he took that same hustle mentality into corporate and didn't allow corporate to change his hustle. But even in that vulnerable moment where he felt that he wasn't good enough, he had some mentorship and some coaching that reminded him that he absolutely is good enough. So, therefore, when you're on your journey, take that hustler mentality and know that even though a lot of individuals are telling you you have to be humble, go ahead and be humble in certain spaces. That's cool. But first, you have to have the self love, the self respect, and the confidence to absolutely know that you can do it. And that's how you can expedite change. This has been Expediting Change with your host, Shomari James. I appreciate y'all tapping in and sticking with me. My guest, Troy, was absolutely amazing. I love when I have connections like Troy and we get together and become friends. Please continue to follow us on Expediting Change, comment, share, like, all of that. Love y'all.